Welcome to Maine Public News Connect, original news stories from Maine Public Radio, airing weekly in Spanish, French, Portuguese, Somali, and English. I'm your host, Ari Snider. Today is Friday, March 31st, and here are the week's top stories. State lawmakers are considering how to address licensing barriers for immigrant healthcare professionals who are having difficulty restarting their careers in the United States. Last week, a legislative committee heard public testimony from foreign-trained doctors who have not been able to continue their careers here due to what they call bureaucratic barriers. Jean Lenda, a doctor from DR Congo, told lawmakers he has worked entry-level medical positions in Maine, but dreams of being able to attain a level of certification that would allow him to use more of his skills. A hospital official also told lawmakers that Maine is experiencing a severe shortage of healthcare workers. The legislature is considering creating a commission to study the barriers facing foreign-trained doctors and recommend changes. Portland is planning to open several new homeless shelters this spring and summer as hundreds of asylum seekers continue arriving in the city each month. Officials say the city will convert the Exposition Center into a temporary shelter in early April. That building was used as a shelter in 2019 when many Angolan and Congolese asylum seekers arrived in the city. Over the summer, the real estate company Developers Collaborative will open a new long-term shelter that will house up to 280 people, partly supported by funding from the state government. More than 780 asylum seekers have arrived in Portland this year, and city officials and immigrant aid groups say they are struggling to find enough shelter space for everyone who needs it. A man from the town of Wells is the latest Maine resident to be charged in connection with the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. Court documents say David Ball has been charged with 4 misdemeanors, including entering restricted grounds and engaging in disorderly and disruptive conduct. Ball is one of nearly 1,000 people who have been arrested in connection with the attack on the Capitol over the last 2 years. The attack was led by supporters of former President Donald Trump and occurred when Congress was in session to certify the results of the 2020 presidential election, which Joe Biden won. The University of Southern Maine has received approval to build a new Center for the Arts on its Portland campus. University officials authorized the school to spend up to $63 million on the new building, which would house the school's music, visual arts, and theater programs. University officials say they expect the center to bring in revenue through its galleries and performance spaces. USM plans to begin construction this summer once it receives approval from planning officials in Portland and complete the project by mid-2025. This has been Maine Public News Connect. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Maine Public News Connect partners with wonderful groups across Maine committed to providing access to important news and information for all. We'd especially like to recognize the Maine Immigrants Rights Coalition, PresentMaine, the Congolese and Angolan communities of Maine, Amjambo Africa, Catholic Charities of Maine, the Greater Portland Immigrant Welcome Center, Portland Adult Education, the Portland Office of Economic Opportunity, ProsperityME, the Maine Health Access Foundation, and the Maine Humanities Council for their support and efforts. Maine Public News Connect is made possible by individual sponsors, businesses, and foundations from across Maine, and especially by Coastal Enterprises, Seaport Credit Union, Hannaford Supermarkets, IDEX, Koo and Patricia Ewan, Maine Health Access Foundation, Maine State Housing Authority, and the Sam L. Cohen Foundation. Thank you for your significant support. Maine Public News Connect is made possible by Koo and Patricia Ewan, committed to bridging cultural differences in our communities.
Juntos. Ensemble.
Warajir.
Junto.
Seaport Credit Union. Together.
At Maine Housing, we know an affordable home is key. Our First Home Loan program offers Mainers low interest rates and down payment assistance on multi-unit properties. Learn more at mainehousing.org.
Hannaford Supermarkets, celebrating the diversity of its employees, customers, and communities, and committed to fostering a welcoming environment. Together, they're greater than groceries. Learn more at hannaford.com.
If you would like to support this project, please contact Corey Morrissey at 207-232-0241.